Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining myself here today at the Digital Tourism Marketing Training Session as part of the McBride Tourism Development Forum. I'm very pleased to be introducing Elizabeth Ross to you. She's going to be delivering a presentation, 6 tools to increase your online presence starting now. So it's going to have a lot of tactical actions that you can take today to increase your online presence. So very pleased to be having her joining us. And a quick bio for Elizabeth. She has dedicated her time with Community Futures, helping small business owners find and optimize their place online through digital marketing strategies and tools. As a certified digital marketing expert, she teaches independent classes and courses specializing in digital marketing tools, strategies, and campaign planning. As the marketing manager for Community Futures North Caribou, Elizabeth creates and provides targeted social media and email campaigns for 9 Community Future offices throughout northern BC. And Elizabeth brings over 20 years of experience teaching, but she is also committed to continual learning, having recently completed a postgraduate degree in digital marketing. Congratulations on that, Elizabeth. That's great to see. And with that, I will turn the mic over to you, and yeah, looking forward to your presentation.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Maxwell. Okay, so I'll start with, I recognize that I am on the territory of Lotako Dene here in Quesnel, BC. And as we share my screen, make sure I have the right, there we go. Okay, everybody can see that okay? I'll assume yes.
Yeah, looks good on my screen.
So, okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so we are going to dive into and explore 6 tools to increase your online presence starting now. Ooh, there we go. So online presence is a hot topic, and it is defined as all activity and content that an entity, a person or a business, has under their name on the internet. And this includes accounts, assets, interactions, and pieces of information created by
Is that crucial?
Oh,
all right, it's back.
Okay. The recording is back. Perfect. All right, we will keep going. It is a little glitchy here today. My computer's flickered a couple of times, and I'm like, oh no. So keep our fingers crossed that everything stays good. So we shall continue with that big mouthful. So the thing is, in today's very digital world, it will make a difference for your business to find your optimal place in a digital space that will allow you to reach and connect with your target audience. So first, we'll do a very quick review of digital marketing. Very quick. There are 2 types of marketing, outbound and inbound. Outbound marketing is pushing a message out, where a business sends a message to a mass audience. So things like newspaper, radio, billboards, yellow pages, that kind of thing. Inbound marketing focuses on pulling customers in. A business sends a message to their specific target audience using digital marketing platforms. Inbound is the component of marketing that utilizes internet and online-based digital technologies such as desktop computers, mobile, tablets, and so on. So this billboard here, if you are familiar with the movie Deadpool, this will make perfect sense to you. If you are not so much. So with traditional marketing, this billboard would go out to the masses, not knowing if they're interested in it or will understand it. With digital marketing efforts, this message would be targeted to people in a certain location, or could be with certain interests in movies or action movies or Ryan Reynolds or even movies released in February. Digital marketing strategies and tools allow you to not only reach your target audience, but also track the responses and optimize your marketing efforts like never before. The buyer's journey, certainly not a new thing. I am sure you are all familiar with some model of this anyway. So the buyer's journey will help you identify where your customers or clients are and what marketing strategies will work best. There are 5 stages in this example, and it takes you through the actions the buyers take from learning about snowmobiling opportunities in McBride to booking their next stay. Keep in mind that buyers or clients or customers can move quite quick through these stages, or they may even get stuck at a stage. So awareness is the moment the consumer becomes aware of a problem they want to solve in their life and perceives your product as a potential solution. In this stage, we want to focus on creating visibility and recognition. Implementing is a part of the broader scope of the existing solution for an issue. The interest stage represents the moment when a consumer is looking for options that will help solve their problem. The consumer has a selection of ideas in mind, but will need more information and experience to make a decision. This is a quest for knowledge that in the digital marketing landscape translates into reading reviews, blog articles, social media, visiting websites, in order to gain as much information as possible. Some excellent digital marketing strategies and channels in these strategies include content marketing, display, and video, social media marketing. The consideration stage represents that moment when the consumer knows about your brand and thinks it might be a good fit for their needs or what they're trying to achieve. So they may have other brands in mind, but your company is definitely in the mix. At this stage, inbound strategies are highly effective because if correctly used, they ensure that the brand or product more frequently appears in the consumer's search results and social media feeds. So if any of you have ever searched for anything at all on your computer, and then you see ads for it or the information come up on your Facebook page, that's what this is. Sorry. The conversion stage represents the moment when the consumer is ready to buy your product or take action on your site. The consumer has done their research and based on their needs and motivations has decided on a product, that is the best solution for their problem. At this stage, the consumer may not have paid for the product or service, but it is important to create a point of contact to drive those conversions home. This is generally achieved with targeting and retargeting, promotional offers, and creating that sense of urgency. Digital strategies and channels for these stages include SEO or search engine optimization and paid search. And finally, we have the retention stage. Retention is often overlooked, but it is a key stage for ensuring recurring revenue and creating a group of active brand advocates. Once the consumer has used the product and is satisfied, it is crucial to provide added value to build a relationship. In this stage, you're addressing an already convinced consumer who thinks your product is great for them, but you still need to keep them satisfied and create a desire for them to come back to your product or even better, promote the product for you. The more you know about your customers, the more you will be able to provide additional value to them and delight them, not only with your product, but with your brand, experience, and personality. Digital strategies and channels for these stages include email marketing, automation, and analytics. And some fun facts for you. All right. Tip number 1, social media. Social will be useful throughout all stages of the buyer's journey, but you will see more activity during those first 2 stages, that awareness and interest. At this stage, your customers will be searching for the solution to their problem. In your case, they may be looking for mountain biking trails in BC or snowmobile trails in BC, accommodation options, things to do in McBride, whatever that might be. Your role then is to initiate, facilitate, encourage, and participate in the conversation to help connect with others and build those relationships. Be social. I cannot stress this enough. Think of yourself when you scroll through Facebook or Instagram or whatever your preferred platform is. Are you wanting to just look through a whole bunch of shopping ads? Probably not. A very common question, how many social sites should I be on? Be on as many sites as you have time to be amazing. That's my advice to you. It's not about how many you are on necessarily. It is about how great you are on the ones that you are on. It's far better to be amazing on one or two than it is to be mediocre on many. And which ones? Well, be where your customers are. Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, Quora, Reddit, Snapchat, TikTok. I mean, the list goes on and on. Be where your customers are. So for example, 50% of Snapchat users are under 25 years old. If this is your audience group, Snapchat may very well be a good place for you. 45.2% of Facebook users are between the ages of 25 and 44 years old. That's as of July 2021. It shifts often. 61% of LinkedIn users are between the ages of 30 and 64, a broad range there. If you're looking to host corporate retreats or team building experiences, you may very well be successful on LinkedIn, as it is a very strong business to business platform. Get to know your customers, learn where they are, and be there. So I'll share a little secret with you. As your clientele engages with your content on your social platform of choice, your reach will inevitably increase. So what can you do starting now to increase your engagement? We're going to look at 3 things you can do on Facebook. Ask for it, take a stance, ask questions. So what does that look like? Ask for it. It is, oh, sorry, there we go. It is perfectly okay to ask people to share with or without a contest attached. Be sure to respond when you get that desired action. Reply to comments, even if it's a like or a thank you. This is one we did for a fun Friday. It was posted at 7:30 in the morning and the draw was held at 4:30 in the afternoon. It was quick, it was easy. The winner got a gift certificate for a local restaurant. Responding to the comments will really make that a conversation and really help you be social on social. Okay, take a stance. Whether you are stating that pineapple does belong on pizza, or coffee is best when no one is talking, or cake is better than a vegetable tray, this is a great opportunity to have a little fun with something your followers can relate to. Take note of the 10,000 reactions, 217 comments, and 1.8 thousand shares. This is very relatable content. And FYI, Eric Alper, who posted this, that's actually his business page. He is a 6-time nominee for Publicist of the Year during Canadian Music Week. He is not a dietitian or a baker or a grocery store owner. He is being social on social. And I've been there too. Okay, last but certainly not least, ask a question. It could be an open-ended question like this one. This example allows the visitor to share something that they most likely have an emotional attachment to without being too personal. So a great way to start a conversation and begin the relationship building. Your question, oops, there we go. Your question can be a multiple choice question, again, keeping it fun and light. Perhaps sharing something about you or your team in the comments will help you find a commonality to begin that relationship building. And I have to say, I noticed as I did some research about McBride, there are many mentions of coffee on the reviews for some of your businesses, your hotels and whatnot. Coffee's big there, apparently. Whatever you're doing with coffee, you're doing it right. People are happy with it. So knowing that, something like this is a great post to really relate to your consumers. And some fun facts. Tip number 2. I am sure that it is not a surprise that video is the most consumed content on the internet. Hands down, there are videos for everything and they are everywhere. They are on YouTube, they're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, and on and on and on. Videos are captivating, educational, and personal. Video content, whether it's organic or paid, allows you to show off your product, your service, or your brand, thus increasing that brand awareness. When looking at the buyer's journey, it is no surprise that video holds a strong place for awareness and interest and consideration, and can carry you through to the conversion and retention stages. How-to videos that are not self-promoting are incredibly effective in building relationships and, of course, your EAT, or your expertise, authority, and trust. During the COVID lockdown, when all the salons were closed, one of the salons here posted a tutorial video on how to cut your bangs. So anybody with bangs who couldn't get a haircut for 2 months, you know how big of a deal that is. So I just want to show you that video really quickly.
So I'm gonna see if I can kind of show you how I cut my bangs a little bit to see if it might help you. I like my bangs to be a little bit around. So if you take them, comb them, and kind of flip them. So you're flipping them all the way around like that. So you can see you have that there. You're not gonna hold them really, really tight. You wanna keep them loose. And then you don't wanna go too short, right? So I like mine to be about my eyebrows, and I've already cut mine, so I'm not gonna take a whole lot off. I'm just gonna show you. And then you just wanna kind of cut over your finger like that. Make sure you get them all. And then when you let them go, you should have a nice set of bangs. Now, if you have a cowlick or something like that, you don't want to do that because you might have this bounce way up and you don't want that. So if you want to just loosely comb your hair and maybe just do this, you can do that, but you want to kind of make your hair fall where you want it to be. So I hope that helps you a little bit, and have a great day. Hope you're all safe.
There we go. So take note of the 38 comments, the 68 reactions, and the 3.8 thousand views. It is simple, it is non-promotional, no logo, no call to action. This video provided a helpful tip to their viewers, or AKA their customers, when they were in need, and showed that their business cares and is thinking of them. Your EAT is built by you providing information to your audience without asking for a sale or a conversion. It lets your audience know that they matter to you and that you are they are more than a sale to you, because you're in a relationship. Anyway. Okay, so I'm going to poke fun of my husband. He knows I'm doing this, so it's okay. But post your own videos, have a little fun, use real names where you can. First names are great, whether it's for Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Remember, this is for social. Be social. Include things like preparing the trails for the season, seeing wildlife in the area, the view from up here, how-to videos such as today's lesson series for snowmobilers, how to dig yourself out when you look at the trees and not the trail. I get to have a little dig at them for that one. So what can you do starting now? Press record. Posting natively or directly to the social platform of your choice tends to increase the number of videos and the length of watch compared to including a link to a website or a YouTube. Or you can also start your own YouTube channel. It is free and you do not need any fancy equipment. You can take videos using your smartphone, use a small microphone to ensure you can be heard, hold a contest, or invite your visitors to post their videos and tag you in it and include a hashtag. The one hashtag I found was the hashtag Ride McBride. And it has all kinds of really great videos and things on there. The hashtag allows you to track the posts by typing that hashtag in the search and in the search bar of the platform and share them accordingly. So I have included a link with the steps to set up your own YouTube channel, should you choose to. And we have more fun facts. All right, earned media. These are people or other businesses that are posting content about you, about your business and their experience. We're talking about reviews, reposts or shares, mentions or recommendations, videos, and so on. Not to be confused with influencers. Influencers are somebody that you've paid to promote your business. These people are doing it just because they loved the experience they had with your product or experience that they had staying in McBride, going out and exploring, whatever it happened to be. So we know that people research and talk to their friends and family about a need they may have. The example here is an in search of post or a looking for recommendations post that gives the opportunity for the searcher to look for recommendations from their friends on Facebook. A great way for your business to be recommended, ideally with a backlink to your business, making less work for the searcher. At this point, your brand advocates will recommend you. You will notice when a recommendation includes a link, an indicator is added to the map as well. Consumers show a higher rate of response with recommendations from their friends and family and someone they know and trust. Take note here to be sure your social pages have a handle or the @ symbol with your name so you can be tagged in the post. This allows the searcher to click that link directly and find the information that they're looking for. So when I looked at YouTube, I searched for snowmobiling in McBride, and you've got some really great stuff here. So keep track of these repeat visitors. They can play a very big role in earned media as they share the details of their experience in McBride with their family and friends. Their clients or customer videos are a marketer's or business owner's dream. This is earned marketing at its finest. Not produced by you, not paid for by you. It's all about your customer's experience and how amazing you are, and advises others to do business with you. The number of views of the comments speak for themselves. The Team BD had over 13,000 views. The White Dumpster, over 25,000 views. The McChris to y'all, 4,500 views. And the list goes on. Connect with the posters directly through email or their own social media page and thank them for coming and sharing their video and invite them to come back. Let them know that you would like to share their video on your social pages or even your website. This will give you the opportunity to show a real living, breathing referral to all of your audience. So what can you do starting now? Starting now, you can utilize this already earned marketing material without a doubt. First and foremost, comment on the video publicly. So glad you came to McBride. Thanks for sharing your fantastic adventure. See you next year. Great video. Next time you're in McBride, stop in for a pint, or whatever language you would typically use. Reach out privately to let them know that you would like to backlink their video to your website or embed it in your website as a testimonial. What a great testimonial these videos would make. And as I mentioned before, connect with them to thank them and invite them back next year. For the upcoming year, hold a contest that encourages visitors to share videos on social and tagging a business or the visitor center or however you want to run that, and use that specific hashtag, the hashtag Ride McBride or whichever one you might want to do. Include that hashtag in some of your other posts that you create, as well as relating to the activities that you want promoted. And we have some fun facts. All right. Next up is Google My Business, a very important step to being found online and reaching a higher placement on the search page. Google My Business is a free and easy to use tool for businesses to manage their online presence across Google, including search and maps. If you have a business or an organization, Google My Business is a must-have. It is designed to help consumers or customers find your business and gives you a place for you to tell them your story, tell them why they need you in their life. You can verify your business and update your information as you need. Google My Business will also increase your search engine optimization score, which in turn will help get your business closer to the top of the page for those search results. I did do a little digging and see that some businesses in McBride have done this step, and that is great. If you have not, it is quite easy to do. I've included a link with the instructions of how to set up your own Google My Business account and a blog from Hootsuite that will take you through the optimization step by step. It will take about 2 to 3 weeks to set up as post-mail is involved. Google will post-mail you a verification code to the address of your business. Once you receive the code, you will enter it into your already created profile and you will be live shortly thereafter. And referrals, ask for them. While they're eating at your establishment, when they're checking out of your hotel, when they're following, whatever it may be, when you're following up with an email perhaps, ask for those referrals. And optimize. We're going to pick on my Google My Business account for Community Futures North Caribou. And what that means is add pictures and videos and offers and details and all the information that's going to prove to your target audience that you are the best solution to their problem. So you can see there's a number of different types of posts you can put in your Google My Business account. Update your Google My Business page, your hours of operation changes, new offers that might be coming up, photos, videos, whether you're updating monthly, quarterly, or whatever the case may be for your business, schedule time in your calendar so you are sure to remember to update that. And some fun facts. All right, referrals, as we mentioned, get them, ask for them, make it really, really easy for your customers to give them, whether it's on social or Google or testimonials to share to your website. Referrals and reviews fall under the consideration stage of the buyer's journey. Potential customers want to know about real experiences people just like them have had, how your product or service worked for them, and if it could be a solution for their problem. Okay, so everyone fears the bad review, and I get it, and you very well could get a bad review. And this is a great time to show off those amazing customer service skills. Try to resolve the issue online with professionalism, offering a quality service. You may not be able to, but it will show your readers that you made the attempt to correct the issue. Have a planned statement ready. When you see a bad or negative review, it may be hard not to take it personally. Having a planned statement or reaction will help you stay calm and deal with the issue at hand quickly. And I do have a sample one here for you. It's very generic. We are sorry this was your experience. It is important to us that you have an excellent stay while enjoying our fabulous outdoor activities. We would like to connect with you directly to resolve this problem. Please contact us at whatever you would, whether it's a phone number or an email or whatever you'd like it to be. But it really will show off those customer service skills. Not everybody's going to be happy all the time. We've all had that experience. Okay, so starting now, ask for them. Having a QR code printed and posted in your business that will link them to your Google My Business page to leave a review. Perfect. Email the link for them to click that will automatically send them to your Google My Business account for a social or your social page, depending on how you want, where you want those reviews to sit. And add a sticker on your invoice asking for the review. This is one that happened to me just a couple of weeks ago. I took my Jeep in to get the winter tires on because I live in the north. And as I was standing at the counter ready to pay, watching them get my invoice ready, they took those 5 seconds to add a colored sticker to the invoice that said, review us on Facebook. I got in my Jeep and gave them a review. When you get a referral, thank them for it. No matter what platform it is on, take the time to thank them for the referral. And some fun facts. Okay, website. Okay, you've heard me mention websites a lot in the last 30 minutes or so. They are, of course, a big part of your digital marketing and a big part of your business. So, and I hear this a lot too. Do I really need one? Yes, yes, you do. You absolutely do. And it's yes. So when a consumer has a problem, they search for a solution. These solutions will be presented to the searcher in a list of websites with information that is going to solve their problem. Having a secured, updated website showing the experience the consumer can expect puts your business in the running during the consideration and conversion stages. To be clear, it does not mean you need to have a multi-page complex website, but it does need to provide the detailed information your customers are looking for. SEO or search engine optimization and PPC or pay-per-click or paid search. Your SEO score determines your place on the results page. Google will rank the value of your site and content and the potential solutions to the searcher. In other words, does this website answer the question that has been asked? So there's 3 pillars or components to SEO: technical, on-page, and off-page. Technical is the behind the scenes stuff. It is completing activities on your website that will improve your SEO score, but is not related to any of the content. It's here we look at page loading speeds, broken links, mobile friendliness, word count, that kind of stuff. Off page is where you enhance your site's search engine rankings through activities outside of the site. So this is largely driven by backlinks, which helps to build the site's reputation. On page is content. So it's here that you ensure the content on your page is relevant and provides a great user experience. It's here where we look at keywords, repetitive content, meta descriptions, headers, all of that kind of jazz. It's a lot and it's very important. So I have included a few links for you to watch or read, depending on which link you click, as a follow-up. Neil Patel is a master marketer who provides amazing free tools for small businesses. There are some limitations when using the free tools, but they are a very big help. Websites are a big topic, and we can go down many rabbit holes here. But starting now, on your website, be sure to include images, testimonial, and security. So images are huge. They tell the story and allow the searcher to envision the experience they're going to have. Be sure they are compressed, as they can affect your loading speed, and add that alt text to all your images. The alt text is the describing your pictures in words on the back end, because Google can't read pictures. Testimonials, we've talked a lot about testimonials and referrals already. Adding them to your website will help the searcher make your decision to book with you. You can add them to your homepage, to a specific product page, such as a hotel room type, or creating a page dedicated to testimonials. Be sure you're adding testimonials that you own. You can add a backlink to Yelp or TripAdvisor by using a statement like, see what our customers had to say on Yelp. And then they could click on that and it would link them to there. And security is really important. Make sure your site is secure, especially if somebody is going to be making a booking or a reservation. Google will warn searchers and advise them not to use an unsecure site. They will spell it out for the searcher. Do not enter things like passwords or credit cards, as they could be stolen. And that will most likely prevent visitors from purchasing or booking on your site. There is a link included on the slide to walk you through the steps to add site security if you have not already done so. And some more fun facts. And a bonus. What would a list be without a bonus? The most important tool I can suggest to you is time. Take the time to market your business. Schedule it into your calendar. Work collectively to hire a student to help with implementation. Whatever works for you and your day, these marketing efforts will work if you invest the time to use them. Before I go, I do want to mention Taking Care of Business. It is a free business membership platform put together by Community Futures and available throughout the province. You will have access to many fabulous resources and free training for your team. The membership application takes like 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, if you're a slow typer. It's really quick and easy, and it's definitely worth it. The link is included to make it that much easier. Please reach out if you have any questions at all, and I will be happy to help any way that I can. And of course, if you have enjoyed this session, please leave us a review on Facebook or Google to help other business owners like yourself learn digital marketing tools that will help them grow. Any questions?
Right. Yeah, thank you so much, Elizabeth, for delivering that presentation. Wow, I loved how tactical it was. Like, these are things people can just do right now, and you've given them the links to do that, and the advice here. So that is really awesome. We do have about 10 minutes left for a Q&A. And Russ, I saw your hand went up pretty early in the presentation. Go ahead, Russ. What's your question for Elizabeth?
Okay, I'm unmuted now. Yeah, I guess, I don't know if you've been to the Robson Valley or McBride area, Elizabeth, have you?
I've once, yeah.
Okay, great. Well, you know, this is a great presentation, and thank you for that. So I guess, how do we mean stakeholders, transfer, you know, this sort of point of view to the folks that are spending the money? So basically at this stage, we're operating, we mean the stakeholders are operating under the Chamber of Commerce, of course, which, you know, has limited budgets, but the village and the MRDT tax money that's coming in is even held more dear, I think. And of course, its focus is to promote tourism, essentially, right?
Right.
Now, I have to choose my words carefully here.
It's okay.
Okay, we have, the goal of this whole tourism exercise is essentially to increase capacity. Okay, we need to have more tools to figure out what we can do to, improve tourism. Okay, now we, meaning the village specifically, I think probably really hasn't embraced the digital world in any significant capacity. Okay, I mean, I think that's a fair thing to say. And I think, that's, when it comes to tourism, obviously there's been a commitment to increase capacity. Okay, that's been a formal commitment. So, the things that you have presented, such as capturing video references and, all the great times people had in McBride and all their social media platforms, that sort of thing, right? From somebody in my world, real obvious. Okay, from the standpoint of the current capacity, let's just say that, of the village of McBride, not really viable. Okay, so how do we, since this is the goal, to increase capacity and sort of boost stakeholder kind of input and, increase the tourism business, more or less, in McBride, how do we kind of create the right message, or what kind of resources do you have available, Community Futures, to basically educate us, okay, to present, make presentations to the council and say, look, here's the best bang for your buck. All right, we need, a better digital presence. We need people to monitor that, even if they're volunteers, they can be filtered through some kind of, official capacity. How do we do that and make sure that everyone understands that's the best bang for the buck in today's world if we're trying to attract people from outside the area?
That's a big question.
You're welcome.
So how do you, well, invite them to this.
Yeah, they're not here.
No, there's, oh my gosh. So, okay, I don't know where to start. I guess start with small steps. Just dumping everything might be too overwhelming if they're a little resistant to trying these, and start in little chunks and snippets and say, hey, we really want to increase this. Let's try this and see how it works. One of the great things with digital marketing is you can actually track who is looking at websites, who is watching videos, where they are like in the world. So if you're reaching, if you're trying to expand to include, all of Canada, you can start tracking to see on your analytics side who is looking at these and where you're reaching to see, and then compare it to who is visiting. So who's watched these videos, seen these digital promotions, and now who's coming and visiting. So you kind of can prove it, like, these are the efforts we took, and this is the outcome of that.
Yeah, that's a real obvious, and thank you for that comment. The problem is we don't have anybody like that to do that. Okay, unless they're volunteering in some capacity and sort of creating that position, so to speak. So so my question to you, and maybe I could address it more succinctly, basically is, what information is out there you have available, okay, that we could point to and say, look, this is how we're missing the opportunity. Here's, point A, B, and C, and D that we can do and use to basically increase our capacity, even if it's volunteer, and even if it has to be overseen by someone in admin or staff, to kind of let them know that we want to do it, and we recognize there's a limited capacity, but at this stage, that basic level of education needs to happen, and it's really the key, I think, to where we need to go, and we are missing the boat currently.
So let me just jump in there real quick. So Russ, that stuff's happening already, regardless of whether Village of McBride wants to do it or not. I mean, if you go on Pink Bike is, they talk about cross-country trails, and there's all sorts of trails apps for mountain biking. That information is getting spread throughout the community anyhow. And there's the McBride, like Facebook, unfortunately. I hate Facebook, but I got to tell you, there's a Facebook thing of McBride hiking trails. And people use that stuff all the time, right? And so, the information is being driven throughout the net anyhow. And it is surprising, though, because and the reason I mentioned Pink Bike is because lots of people, the number of people I've ran into in Prince George who drive right past McBride and go to the Valemount Bike Park and don't even realize there's a bike park in Valemount. I mean, in McBride. Literally, I've talked to a dozen people this summer and go like, oh yeah, we're from Prince George. No, we didn't know McBride had a bike park. So, I mean, Pink Bike has other platforms are doing it, right? So I mean, it will happen regardless. I mean, the information will be spotty, but it's there.
Yeah, well, Eric, thanks for that comment, and you made my point. I mean, part of the exercise here is to, collaborate, with folks such as yourself, in Prince George and elsewhere, and to help bring attention in a more formal way, with a little bit of funds we have to spend. And yeah, you're right. The internet's out there, and my friends and and everybody out there in whether it be hiking trails, McBride, or wherever. I mean, a lot of people know already. Part of the problem is connecting the knowing to the spending the money. Okay, and we don't do that. We don't do that at all, really. But the other part is, how do we start along that process? Which is kind of what you're saying, and what I was asking Elizabeth, like, we need to kind of tie these things together. And some of it is just, I think, basic, website improvements, maybe, tying some of these hiking trails, McBride, those kinds of Facebook pages together, in some kind of capacity where we have this, collaborative presence that's a little bit more user friendly, and, we're sort of missing that now. And so that's kind of what I was, asking the question about. What can we, because I recognize it's sort of a baby step sort of thing, because even though a lot of us are fairly sophisticated with internet, and all the sort of social media things, a lot of people, particularly in Robson Valley, because, there's a lot of older people here, and, they aren't familiar. And, that's not a direction that council has chosen to move at this stage in time. So if we're talking about tourism, then we need to bring those people along. And that's my question. What's the thing today, maybe, or we could tomorrow, some resources we could kind of generate to kind of say, okay, what do we take away from this tourism forum that's really going to be maybe, have a maximum impact? Okay, back to you, Elizabeth.
No pressure. Gosh, so my head's a little spinning as to all the things that where to start, I guess, is that what you're asking? Like, where do we start to move forward, or?
Yeah, I gotta go. Bye.
Russ, are you there?
I'm here.
Sorry, are you?
Yeah.
Was that a question to me?
So it was, yeah. So are you looking like for some places to start? So if you have somebody who's interested in doing some of the digital marketing, specifically maybe for the visitor center, or for, working collaboratively as some of the businesses in McBride, maybe. There are some on taking care of business that I mentioned. There is a course, an 8-part series that's free. It's free, it doesn't cost money. That specifically dives a lot deeper into digital marketing and different efforts that can be implemented starting, tomorrow. Well, I think the course starts mid-November, but next week maybe it starts.
I think,
so if you have somebody that's interested in taking on that role, I would definitely recommend them, and that are looking for some information and details, I would definitely recommend them taking that course. Or there's other courses out there as well. Of course, there's many, digital marketing is so hot that there's so many options for training and getting some experience that way. So, and that one may be a good first step.
Yeah, I I understand what you're saying. Part of the issue that I have to fall back on is, and I'm going to be as sort of, pointed as I can be, assume no capacity, assume no current capacity. Okay, the only capacity we might have right now, other than volunteer, is not on council, is not in administration. Okay, and we have to make our case and sell. Okay, and the only tool we have to do that would be a written or a digital presentation relative for a cost benefit analysis. Okay. What kind of data is out there? We can kind of try and get people's attention and say, look, we really need to look at this more seriously.
I think
I
there
would,
was some good point, or sorry for interrupting there, Elizabeth. I think there was some good points in the presentation you shared, particularly some of those fun facts. Like when you look at those metrics, wow. I mean, digital is super important. It's not going anywhere. If anything, it's only going to become more important when you look at the trends. So yeah, this presentation is going to be made available to every participant. So Russ, you're going to get a copy. Everyone on this call will get a copy, and so and along with everybody in the other sessions. So yeah, I would hope that this could actually be a starting point to start to build that case, I would think. But yeah, sorry, Elizabeth, back to you.
yeah, no, I was going to basically say the same thing, that you have to, it's not about who you're presenting to, it's about who your target audience is, and really do dive in to see who are we trying to reach. If you're trying to reach people outside of McBride, then you can't think about McBride people. You need to think people who are in Alberta, people who are in throughout the, all of BC, people who are in Ontario or wherever they happen to be. If, base it on where your target audience is and not who's doing it, the promotion. Does that make sense? Because that's who you want to reach, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess, my thought process, and maybe I'm just a business guy and thinking about things a little bit differently than what we're addressing. But, I'm thinking of if I were Revelstoke, okay? And I had a big picture snowmobile program, backcountry program, et cetera, et cetera. And, I wanted to pull in, as you're saying, some of these analytics. Okay. And I'll be honest, I don't think our current website on the village has the ability to do much analytics. And that's just the village website. Okay. Just, based on some of the information we've asked for and received. So, I mean, I think those are the kind of things at just the base level, we don't really have any, it's not clear that we have anybody that can be trained now because there isn't capacity to hire anybody. Okay. Number one. Okay. So, we look at it that stage, that's kind of where we're at. We're really like ground zero. And your presentation is great, but I think we need more detail if we're going to make a real hard push, whether it be, website presence, social media presence, all those kinds of things, how that's tied together in a sort of a financial pie chart. Okay. Here's what you could get, sort of thing, right? This is a level of visitor presence. This is a level of visitor interaction. Here's how it translates into dollars. Here's how it, translates into, butts and beds,
Heads and beds.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's sort of what I was asking, maybe not very well and not very succinctly, but that's my, that's sort of the essence of my question. Something really simple, because these folks in council, they're not exactly volunteer positions, but essentially for the number of hours they put in, they are. And so we've got to make a real sort of visual, distinctive, kind of presentation, like a couple of pages, that sort of catches their eye and okay, here's what we can do. So I think your presentation, your PowerPoint's been great. I was just trying to look for a little bit more detail.
Right. And do connect with your Community Futures office to see if there's any ideas that they may have. And of course, my information is there, so you can reach out to me as well as just a little extra bonus. If there's something I can help you with, I'll be happy to.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Right on. Yeah, Russ, thank you for your question, and points all well taken there. I mean, yeah, I like where your head's at in terms of, okay, now we have the tactics that Elizabeth shared with us, but now how do we action it? How do we
sell it?
How do we sell it? Yeah.
You got to market it.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, that was all great. So now we are actually out of time, but if anyone does have any other questions, Elizabeth's contact information is in the presentation, I believe. You also have my information. So please send through your questions after this session closes, and we'll get them answered for sure. So with that, I will stop the recording, and with a thank you to Elizabeth for joining us here today, and for Community Futures for sponsoring this session free of charge. So Elizabeth, thank you so much, and we'll see you later.
Thanks for having me.